Bitcoin is not going to be a currency. It was called cryptocurrency because that's the way they wanted to market it. It's a crypto asset. It's not a currency, and it's not going to be a currency, and it's not going to be, a hedge against fiat and printing too many fiat dollars. No, it is a store of value. Bitcoin particularly is a store of value that is going to increase in value because it's scarce. And if you have more buyers and sellers, it'll retain its value and most likely go up in value. And that's a good thing. It still doesn't have any more utility right now other than a banana, right? So if you're hungry, I'd rather have a banana than Bitcoin, but I'd rather have Bitcoin stored, right? Because in terms of value, Bitcoin is worth more. But at the same time, we're starting to see via DeFi how you can use that Bitcoin and either swap it or turn it in and wrap it right into wrap Bitcoin that effectively, mimics the value proposition and allows you to do more because it's more like Ethereum, right? And more like, other applications. And so, I think Bitcoin will stay a store of value. It won't ever be a currency. And I don't think, other than digital coins, right? I don't think most crypto and most tokens are geared towards being currency. I know Bitcoin Cash tries to be, and if you go to the islands and everything, is it taken anywhere in the Caymans?
No.
It's just like we put up 5 years ago, 6 years ago, whenever I wanted to see if anybody would spend Bitcoin to buy stuff at the Mavericks. And then I did it again 3 years ago. And then we announced it again 2 years ago, and we sold, I think, $314 worth.
Yeah, and because if it is going up and it's got this skewed risk reward because it's based on kind of Metcalfe's law and adoption theory, why the hell would you sell it to buy a burger at the Mavs game? It's ridiculous.
That's exactly right. Why would you convey it at all, right? Why would you convey it at all? It's like, and look, if we had a big bout of inflation, but your personal inflation rate was 6% and you got 14%, in a bank, you're going to put it in the bank. And if Bitcoin is flat at that time, you're going to yank it out of Bitcoin and put it in the bank, And so it really is a store of value in a traditional sense. But I do think I think we'll really start to see some wholesale changes and change of perspective when you see countries take some of their sovereign gold storage and turn it into Bitcoin or some other crypto asset just as a store of value. And I think there will be some who do that. And just like they work from the mindset of, we have gold, so our currency is worth more, even though there's no real correlation. Nobody looks at the price of the dollar and say, well, how much gold does the United States have in Fort Knox? Right. Nobody does that. Right. Nobody. And so there's no relationship between the two, but it sends the right message. And if you're going to start issuing digital coins, and look, most currency is digital anyways. Probably 99% of currency is digital right now anyways. It's sitting in a bank account, or wherever. And when it's transferred, it's digital. You don't see people walking around with bags of coins or cash. And so when there's a country that's looking to issue digital coins, it wouldn't shock me. And I would kind of expect them to sell some of their digital gold storage that they have in storage and use that as the explanation to say, okay, we're going to buy Bitcoin and we're going to go against Bitcoin to issue our own digital coins. And so maybe, as a derivative, Bitcoin becomes currency, but not, I don't think it'll be currency directly.
No, it's more like a reserve asset, and that kind of makes sense.
Exactly right. That's a better way to put it. It's a reserve asset. And just like gold is considered a reserve asset when it's not. If the world goes to hell in a handbasket, there ain't nobody walking around with a gold bar. Because somebody bigger is just going to knock your ass out and take your gold bar, and they're still going to be hungry. But if I have a banana, you'll give me your gold bar.
Well, because it was really interesting in Argentina back in whenever it was, 2001, when they had that big crisis and they stole all the money out of the bank accounts, converted the dollars and devalued the peso, right? The country ran out of money. So what they did, so that's when the gold bugs thought, right, this is the chance. What happened is nobody could value a gold bar or a gold coin. So everything traded at 18 karat jewelry prices. So the thing that was fungible was jewelry. Because every wife, every girlfriend, every guy...
It's got something and it's transferable. Yeah, that's great.
And you kind of figure out it could be 22 karat, it could be 18 karat, it could be 9 karat. So we value everything at this and we can then barter with gold.
And the banana vendor on the corner of the street that have bananas can get all the jewelry they want. They set the price, right?
Exactly right. So how do you think about, before we move on to some other topics, how do you think about investing in this space then? In terms of, allocation, what percentage you think about and how?
I mean, I don't think so much in terms of percentages. I've got the stocks that I've owned for years now, basically. Yeah. In March, when things kind of cratered, I bought some more stuff and I've sold some of that since. And then I invest in private companies like the things we're talking about, because I think that's where the greatest return comes.
But what about crypto itself? How do you think about your allocation to crypto?
Allocation to crypto, I've been accumulating over the years and I've just never sold. I've swapped out some for Aave recently. So so the way I look at it is, where can something go? And so I had a bunch of Ethereum from when it first came out, or not, about a year after it came out. And then I bought some more, a few months ago. I forget how many, 6-7 months ago, whatever. And I bought Litecoin, LTC. And then recently, because I wanted to understand DeFi more, I bought a bunch of Aave and I staked a bunch of it. And I also bought some Sushi Swap. And since I did stuff on Rarible, now I have Rari tokens and I'll see what happens with that. So I'm not looking to trade in and out. So I'm not a day trader at all. That just takes too much work. And I don't, there's a lot of narrative stories that go on with tokens right now where, oh, this is going to be this and this is going to be that. And there's a couple of them I bought where I said, okay, I'm going to put in $10,000 and just for shits and giggles, but I'm not going to tell you which ones they are because I don't want to be yelled at. So I don't really have an investment strategy. It's like I've got a lot, every time they list the whale list, let's just say, my private wallets that everybody else, thank God, doesn't have after some of them came out or one of them came out. I'm in that. So it's big enough to be on those lists, but I have no interest in selling them. I mean, they've grown, done well. And
So you're thinking of like VC, you're just putting some bets across the space, reasonable size, and let it develop and see how it goes.
Yeah, I mean, and it actually wasn't so much bets. It was more, how can I learn and have enough skin in it? It's kind of like going to a blackjack table. If I bet $5, I'm bored, right? And so it's just, and I want to learn about it and understand API, the yield farming and DeFi and all that stuff. And so I've messed with it some and I track it, but I'm not, if Bitcoin craters, then I would buy more, right? If Ethereum goes back under 1,000, then I'll buy more, right? But I'm not out there chasing it.